وَلَقَدْ بَعَثْنَا فِي كُلِّ أُمَّةٍ رَسُولًا أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ هَدَى اللَّهُ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ حَقَّتْ عَلَيْهِ الضَّلَالَةُ فَسِيرُوا فِي الْأَرْضِ فَانظُرُوا كَيْفَ كَانَ عَاقِبَةُ الْمُكَذِّبِينَ. Verse 36, and we certainly sent into every nation a messenger, and the messenger main message is worship Allah and avoid any form of deities. That's the word Taghut that I will explain shortly. And among them were those whom Allah guided, and among them were those upon whom error was deservedly decreed. So proceed, travel through the land and observe how was the end of the deniers. So Allah is giving a fact here, is that Allah has given us this intellectual ability to judge things, and He has given us all these senses of hearing, of seeing things, along with this mind and intellect. So these are all tools that Allah gave us to understand the things and reason and reach to the truth. But that was not enough. Allah, out of His mercy, has given us yet another important gift, and these are the messengers who come to show people the right direction, the direction that conforms with a healthy intellect. Any person who has a healthy reason, he will never find the message of the messengers he will not find any rationality in his message. Rather, he will find that this is very much compatible with the reason and spirituality and the heart of mankind. And the main message that those messengers came up with is just one thing: أَنِ اعْبُدُوا اللَّهَ وَاجْتَنِبُوا الطَّاغُوتَ. Worship Allah alone and refrain from following anyone who starts to claim any portion of that worship that is exclusively right of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. So this Taghut, the word Taghut actually is a word that means anything that a person exceeds his limit. The worship of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, Allah deserves 100% worship because He enjoys the qualities and attributes that deserves to get the 100% worship from our side as human being. So if any other than Allah, any person or even rock or a statue or a system or whatever, regardless, whatever, if anyone starts to exceed his known position and starts to creep into the position or the realm of godhood, then he is a Taghut. So if a country leader gets deceived by the people following him, respecting him, venerating him, if he gets deceived by this and starts to claim and starts to give legislations and starts to act as if he's God by making systems that only Allah can make to control the human beings, all this you could use the word Taghut to describe that. So it's not necessarily a statue that needs to be Taghut. If you look into our contemporary world, many things can be called Taghut. Actually, just try to apply this criteria, that if anything that is exclusively for Allah, if anybody else tries to exceed his limit and start claiming similar properties, then he is a Taghut. So it has been the message of all prophets that they used to call people to Allah and abstain from any form of Taghut, which could vary from one messenger to another messenger. So some financial systems could be a Taghut in a society, whereas some moral or ethical derailment could be a Taghut in yet another different country. So it could vary from a context to another context, from society to another society, and so on. And the messenger's sole job was to convey the message, but Allah alone knows what would be the reaction of those people. Allah loves those people to follow the messenger. So there is Allah's willness and command and Allah's love, that he loves people to be on the right path and he hates people to derail and go into the shirk. But Allah has a grand plan, and Allah has a wisdom and knowledge that he knows who would eventually respond positively to the call of the messengers and who would reject. This power is also at the hand of Allah. So Allah has this supreme knowledge, a global knowledge of what would be the outcome of every person. Some will go to hellfire and some will go to paradise. That knowledge is at the hand of Allah, and no prophet even has that power. The prophet has the power to call people through various ways. They exhaust all possible ways, scientific ways, in a very nice and gentle ways, with very eloquent language. They preach this message to everybody. But the ultimate response, whether those people will follow the message or not, is at the hand of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala alone. And this is what Allah said in this verse, that فَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ هَدَى اللَّهُ وَمِنْهُمْ مَنْ حَقَّتْ عَلَيْهِ الضَّلَالَةِ. Some would follow the message and some would not and go astray. And then Allah asks us to really look into the history and verify this claim. Look at those people who are distracted among the people of Lot, among the great flood, the people of Noah, and all those people. So this is a fact that is supported by history, and nobody feels that he is being forced to go into hellfire. We have our free will, and we have our intellect, we have our senses, all these faculties and all these tools, and above all we have the messengers who came with the message. So we have all sources of knowledge, and after that there is no excuse by anyone to not follow the truth.